hell? Where is it? Oh, it's working now. Oh, I need to edit the stream info. Crap. That's annoying. Just a second. Need to do this. Come on. You get this fucking piece of shit to work. Just stop fighting me. Okay. Holy crap. Shit is working. Shit's working. Holy fuck, it's a miracle. Shit's actually working. Okay, we actually have a stream. Holy fuck, after 10 billion years of trying to get Streamlabs' multi-stream functionality that I paid money for to work, trying to figure out how to get the damn software to do what I wanted, I'm finally here. Hello! This is Cat Knight Alexander, and welcome to my 7.1 plot theory crafting stream. And now I'm streaming to Twitch, Twitter, Kick, and YouTube. Woohoo! I got it to work! It's a bloody miracle! Okay. It's so long trying to get the damn stream to work, I completely forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yesterday when I was watching the live letter, like skimming through it and watching the trailer and shit, I'm just so hyped that it's actually working. My brain needs to calm down to process what the fuck are we going to talk about. Holy crap. That took forever. Breathe, Idget, breathe. Okay. Yeah, I noticed this screen, and I was like, wait a minute. And I noticed another screen later in the trailer, where you actually go to this area, I guess in the patch, and it's orange and red. And it looks like a crater. And it looks like there's a crater there as well. Huh. And I got thinking, well, if we're not in a simulation, then what could be one of the plot threads leading into the new saga? I'm still trying to come down off of the high of actually getting this to work. Holy crap, my brain. Stress is not good for you. But yeah, anyway. This is what I remembered from Chrono Trigger. Yeah, I think they're referencing Chrono Trigger. I think it's going to be like Lavos or Genova. I think it's going to be like a Day of Lavos cutscene style scene. I think we're going to find out what happened to the Ninth. And I don't think it was Asians. I think it was something like this. I mean, after all, the Alexandrians were in a giant energy dome in order to survive. Get to the good part. The relevant part to the theory is after Marl, of course, pushes the random button. Which, you know, if they're going to have Orange Cat play the part of Marl and just push a button, that would be funny as hell. Say, what does this button do? Says Luke Lamont. Boom! 1998 D. Visual record of the Day of Lavos. There we go. Destruction reigns from the heavens. Oh, if they actually do that in 7.1, oh, that's going to be funny. Especially if that's the whole reason we're going out to the desert in the trailer. Oh, that would be hilarious. I would love to see Zep's face. Like, what the fuck's a Lavos? Or since it's Final Fantasy XIV, they could go Genova or Ultima. Or maybe something new. Let's create all three. I mean, if they introduced Lavos to Final Fantasy XIV, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Like, oh yeah, Lavos. What, you were expecting Genova? Nope, we're just gonna go full Chrono Trigger. Lavos. The new bad guy, the new Zodiac is Lavos. So yeah, that's my theory. I think Lavos is coming. I think Lavos is down there. That would be funny as hell. What the Lavos? All the things we can end up fighting in the new saga. Lavos might be on the table. I'm okay with that. If Wook Lamont's even standing in the exact same spot in this screen room that Marl was standing in Chrono Trigger. If Wook Lamont walks up to the Warrior of Light and just starts pressing buttons, oh, that's gonna be funny. Or G'raha Tia playing the part of Chrono because he's the redhead. He's there. You have Chrono, the Warrior of Light, just I guess being Chrono. Like, well, basically, you just have the basic. You get what I'm saying? It's like the three characters. Like you have the four characters walk up because the kid's up there because he needs access to the. He's like the king of Alexandria now. So the kid walks up there. G'raha Tia walks up there. The Warrior of Light walks up there. Then Wook Lamont follows him. It's like, wow, that was cool. We now know what that ancient Final Fantasy V-esque Ronkin Run in the desert is, or Alexandrian Run, or whatever the heck we're dealing with after the funeral. That's cool and all. What does this button do? Day of Lavos. This is what happened in the night? Like, yep. Oh, if they actually do that, that would be funny. Will they do that? No idea. But if they do that, oh, that would be comedic. That would be comedy of the highest order. And before I actually do some trust dungeons for the next hour, I need to go to the restroom. Holy crap, it took too long. I actually have to go to the restroom. Damn, I had to go. Oh, man. You know, getting a stream set up takes too long when you actually have to go to the bloody restroom. Oh. Decisive battle time. Let's do... Oh, I need to eat some food on this character. Roast chicken. Eat some roast chicken. Oh, yeah! And for 7.1, I went back to Miqo'te. I went back to Miqo'te! The cat girl's back! The dragon girl wasn't doing it for me. I need claws again. Okay, trust. Yeah, Warcall Zormor. Take off Raha. Put on Thancred. Yep, your turn indeed. And register for duty. I did all my daily roulettes off stream, so I have time to just do a trust dungeon. Also, time to turn down the damn music. Why is it so loud? Why is everything loud? Ow, 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 my brain. I can't think. Ah, there we go. The correct plate. I am looking down on you because I am a feline supremacist. I'm better than all of you. I'm a cat. That is our default setting. Supremacy. We rule everything. Oh yeah, that reminds me. This was basically going to be a test stream one way or the other for tomorrow's Persona 3 Reload playthrough. But I wanted to make sure the multi-streaming was set up before, you know, starting a new project. So I figured I'd do the theory crafting. I was thinking about just holding off until the 12th, but I needed a test stream, so here it is. Okay. So yeah, I think Lavos/Jenova is the next plot point. And I still think my prediction about Ronkin ruins might be a thing. I mean, we're going to be going to the desert. From the looks of it, that crater is in the desert. This heavily implies the ancient floating Ronkin fortress from Final Fantasy V is also going to be a plot point.
Victory will be ours.
Hell, the field generator facility is basically the barrier tower. So, yeah. We go out to the middle of the bloody desert to check for Ronkin ruins that we end up detecting. In fact, hey, that would actually... Oh, holy crap. That would explain... Oh, that would go well with the Chrono Trigger reference, wouldn't it? After the funeral. Some weird technological Ronkin shit happens in the desert, but we can't locate the city. And we're like, oh, crap, we need to locate the city. And then Oblivion in Solution 9's like, oh, yeah, we have we can't locate it from here, but the king has access to a secret facility that we discovered that we wanted you to check out anyway that might be able to turn off the field barrier so we can just fully integrate with the rest of the source. But at the same time, in the basement, there's a place that has a better scanning radius Or maybe we have to actually turn off the barrier to initiate the scan. Either way, it's like we have to turn off the barrier tower to initiate the scan. So we have to go into the dungeon, which is a secret facility still ran by the remnants of preservation. And we have to go downstairs in there to just turn off the field so we can scan for the weird Ronkan city that the Hetzaro are probably dealing with in the middle of the desert area. And it's like, ah, crap, dude. You know? So we have to turn off the barrier tower so the lightning ether doesn't interfere with the electro scanning equipment so we can run the scan. Kind of like how Luca needed access to that one dome. I can't remember the name of it. The dome you went to where you fight the Guardian robot in Chrono Trigger to run a scan for a gate. So we have to run a scan for the weird anomaly that's happening in the desert. The second golden city, if you will, that Emmett Self mentioned at the end of Endwalker, because as Cynotic Scribe pointed out, there was 2 golden cities in the dialogue, and I think that's the second one. Ancient Ronkan Fortress. Maybe even has a portal to the first in it. That would be cool. Which allows us to, continue some of that plot line. So in order to get to the ancient Ronkan floating fortress that will inevitably rise up into the air, we need to, first get to the ruins of Gone, or, well, the ruins of Gone other end on the source. Because, of course, this Ronkan city would have a counterpart in the Raktika Greatwood, because Ronka first, you get the idea. So we have to go out to the desert to find, the ancient ruin, but we can't find the ancient ruin, so it's like, ah, crap. We need to turn off the barrier in order to run the scan, because Oblivion's scan radius is being limited by the barrier. It's a double-edged sword now. We don't need it anymore because the Alexandrians are not going to be invaded by the Tuliolans, the Turalians. So we now have to turn off the barrier anyway as part of the peace deal. Now that Speen's dead, so we have to turn off the fucking barrier. But to turn off the barrier, we have to go to the dungeon, the field generator facility, they briefly hinted at in the MSQ. So we go to the field generator facility. We fight the remnants of preservation. Some mad science shit out of Deep Ground, Hojo. Heavily hinting that maybe it's not actually Lavos, even though it will be revealed like Lavos in Chrono Trigger, but it's actually, Genova, because Final Fantasy. And it's like, who knows? Maybe the bosses are infected with Genova cells, and like maybe Ultimas are like the Frozen Flame, but to Genova instead of, Lavos. And are you starting to see how this could all come together? We just get to the basement, and then we start scanning. Now that we turn the barrier off, and just start scanning for the ancient Ronkan facility, thinking everything is normal. Then Orange Cat channels Marl, and it's like, what does this button do? Boop. Video record of the Day of Lavos / Day of Genova. And then we have like a new Zodiark level threat to deal with, but it's currently on the back burner like Lavos was, because now we just have to scan for the Ronkan city. So we scan for the Ronkan city. We're out in the desert trying to save people, like a group of people probably mentioned in the trailer by Kona. We're trying to help those guys out. And then the Ronkan city floats into the air. We can't get to it until 7.2, kind of like how we couldn't get to it in Final Fantasy V with the airship conventionally. We needed to retrofit the airship with adamantite. Maybe Sid shows up with some adamantite, but it takes a while to install. Final Fantasy V reference achieved. Come back 4 months later for 7.2. Meanwhile, it sets up Battle on the Big Bridge shit in the trailer, because that's going to be Hildebrand, obviously. Because, it was Hildebrand the last time around in the Realm Reborn. Or, well, it was called Battle in the Big Keep. But, having Gilgamesh show up for Battle in the Big Bridge 2.0 would make sense as a trial for 7.1, and you get the idea. And while we're looking for one ancient city, we use that device to find another ancient city, and that's the FF11 raid, and we find Juno. And are you starting to see how it all comes together? How Chrono Trigger just ties everything together? Chrono Trigger and FF5 are the glue that holds this expansion's plotline together. Oop, get the hell out of there. And talking about plot, trying to talk and fight at the same time is not working. Holy fuck, these bosses have mechanics. I can't even speak. I'm so fucking excited now. And now I'm going to be disappointed again. I know I'm setting myself up for failure on the 12th. But oh man. If I'm right, I'm right. I may have been wrong about the Castle Oblivion theory, but I think this one's a winner. I think they're going Chrono Trigger. Don't think! Oh, get the hell out of there! I'm gonna love getting out of Warcore Zormor. Eventually I'm gonna get out of Warcore Zormor. And I'll be able to do a different trust dungeon. Oh crap. Focus on the mechanics. Don't die, forehead.
I will not hold back.
Please don't, Yish. You know, braver, because these mechanics are pissing me off! Kitty's mad! So, yeah. Warcore Zormor is a dungeon. And, yeah, what was I saying? I got completely distracted by the boss. So focused on not dying. Yeah, anyway. So, Lavos / Genova is my prediction.
Gloves are off.
Which I guess would mean 7.2 is the floating fortress.
The gloves are off.
An Archaeoavis would probably be the dungeon boss or the trial. I mean, after all, they said it was going to go to 7.3, so that would imply that... Yeah, that would heavily imply that the meteors would be 7.3. Hell, since the two worlds are already fused together, technically due to dimensional fusion, and we had the barrier tower, which was the... Yeah, the third to last dungeon, and then you had the Ronken Ruins, which is the second to last dungeon of World 1 of Final Fantasy V. But yeah, there was actually an adamantite meteor thing. Yeah, there was like the Tycoon meteor before that. So yeah, we might actually have to fight an Adamantoise as like a solo fight. We might actually have to get our hands on Adam. Oh, and there was like a giant turtle thing in the fucking trailer! Oh! Oh! We do have to fight one! Oh! We have to kill that for the Adamantite for 7.2! Oh! It just clicked! Yeah, that's what that was referencing! Okay, okay! So I think I am on track. With the Ronken Ruins portion of it at least, but I think they're going to do Lavos as well. Hell, the Ronken Ruins would like synergize well with Alexandria Castle being Alexander in Final Fantasy IX. Oh, you could have it like be a Sin Eater infested dungeon in 7.2. Oh, you could even have like the first phase of the fight, maybe if it's just a solo fight with like where you control the Warrior of Light by herself, or because I'm playing a female character, and you have to fight Sin Eaters on the outside. And the cannons. Oh, because Soul Cannon, the boss Soul Cannon from 5 could be the solo fight, the door boss to unlock the dungeon itself. Or maybe, since we have like a ship that leads to a boss as you know, the level 91 dungeon, well, why not just have an airship kind of fight, kind of like the Death Gaze fight in the Void Ark storyline. We have to fly towards the Ronkin Ruins, but it's guarded by Sin Eaters, and those are the trash packs. And then you have to fight the Soul Cannon and the cannons as the boss, the first boss. Oh, that would work so well for a dungeon. Oh, man. Oh, dude. And then the second part would just be, I don't know, a really, really strong Prime Sin Eater boss is the second part. And then Archaeoavis, or, the snake thing from... Maybe even have Archaeoavis be like the prime snake thing from the Ronkin mythology. You know, that weird-looking snake thing. And you have to fight that as, like, the last boss of the dungeon and kill it. And since they have multiple phase bosses now, now it's not like this weird thing to say that, well, Archaeoavis had 2 phases, it has to be a trial boss. Like, no, you're gonna kill Archaeoavis and then it comes back as undead, like in FF5, as the dungeon boss. We had a boss like that already in the Vanguard dungeon, so we already now have that in the game. So we can just do it again, just have Archaeoavis come back as undead for phase 2. So after this dungeon, I'm just going to condense my thoughts, because, you know, this is me randomly spitballing while killing shit, and it's not cohesive enough for a clip. I'm going to have to condense my thoughts, give a final take. Okay, let's do this. In fact, I think I have a timeline brewing in my brain right now for the next 3 patches. You have Funeral. Referencing, well, Queen Braun's death in Final Fantasy IX. You have the funeral. We go to the funeral. Shit happens in the desert. Well, we're not going to have a sandworm boss as in the desert area, because that's like too much for the MSQ. But the Passage of the Unbound shit had a sandworm. And there was a sandworm boss in Final Fantasy V to get to the floating Ronkin Ruins. So, you know, we'll just outsource the sandworm part of it to the role quests. Anyway, ignore that. We just go out to the desert and try to find it. Try to find whatever's causing this weird anomaly. Hell, Sin Eaters might actually show up early, and everyone's like, wait, Sin Eaters? How the hell could Sin Eaters be here? This is the source! And so we have to go find a Sin Eater, kill the Sin Eater, and then we're like, well, they gotta be coming from somewhere, but we can't find it. There must be something out here in the desert. There's all sorts of ancient ruins out in the desert. All of them look Ronkin in origin. We have no idea where to look. We need to, like, narrow it down. We need to start looking for etheric signatures. The technology that Oblivion has in the bar can scan for etheric signatures. But the field barrier is blocking the scan. And as part of the new unification of the 2 worlds being heralded by Wook Lamont as part of a peace offering to the Alexandrian citizens who are discovering grief for the first time. She needs to shut down the barrier anyway. So we go to the dungeon to shut down the barrier. Dungeon unlocked. Then we do the dungeon. It's basically just Hojo's lab, preservation style. We get to the end. We killed the mad scientist who did some really fucked up experiments. Most likely with Genova cells, because instead of Lavos, it's Genova. But at the end of the dungeon, we now just turn off the barrier, tell Oblivion to run the scan. They find the place we're looking for, kind of like we found the dome with the gate in Chrono Trigger. And it's like, oh yeah, we found the Ronkin ruins. We found that Final Fantasy V reference for you. Okay, cool. And then Wook Lamott's like, what does this button do? Like Marl from Chrono Trigger. Boom! Genova! Genova Lavos Ultima Fusion thing shows up. Maybe call it just Genova for the Final Fantasy VII reference, because Preservation is basically just Shinra. And it's like, holy fuck! There's like a new Zodiac, alien Zodiac threat thing. Genova's like a thing we have to deal with now. Holy fuck, Genova. We have to do something about Genova. But for right now, we have a Sin Eater problem to deal with in the middle of Tyrol because reasons. So we now have to find the ancient Ronkin fortress in the middle of the desert. So we try to go find the ancient Ronkin desert in the middle of the fortress. And the ancient Ronkin fortress in the middle of the desert. Got that? I hate when you split words around like that. It's annoying, isn't it? So, yeah, you find the ancient Ronkin fortress, but it starts flying. Oh, no, that's a problem. That's just like FF5. Fuck, dude. How are we supposed to get that high? Adamantite? Well, we have to go kill a turtle for that. That's the turtle in the trailer that we're fighting against with Wook Lamont and Kona. We gotta kill that turtle. And even then, it's going to take a while to upgrade the airship. We'll have to come back at 7.2 for that dungeon. And yeah, that's just 7.1 in a nutshell. Hell, they really wanted to reference FF9 in the Sin Eater shit. Well, actually, no, they don't actually need to reference FF9 in the card game tournament at all, because the side quests themselves would probably just be the card game tournament for our character, right? Well, we need to do something while we wait for something else to happen. Might as well go look up the lost city of Juno, which we also detected with the thing. Oh, we might as well, you know... what was the other side quest? Oh, yeah, deal with the Passage of the Unbound. The Wandering Minstrel has a few more tales for us. Chaotic difficulty, you know. We got shit to do for 4 months. We can chill. So, yeah. Oh, crap. I want to look at that. So, yeah, we could just chill for 4 months, or actually 2 months until Hildebrand, and we get Battle on the Big Bridge, baby. We get Greg returning to Hildebrand. And why do I say it's Greg? Battle on the Big Bridge. Anyway. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. And then 7.2. I'm still thinking on what would happen with 7.2. But my money is on it just being the dungeon immediately. Like, hey, we got the Adamantite. Time to fly up to the Ronkin Ruins. Gotta fight through an army of Sin Eaters to get there. Kill it. Okay. But, yeah, Army of Sin Eaters. Then the Soul Cannon boss. Then a Sin Eater boss inside the dungeon itself. And then a lot of Serpent trash packs, and then the Serpent boss. Which is just Archaeoavis. It'll look like the Ronkin Serpent, but it'll just be called Archaeoavis. And it'll have a normal and undead form. Or, ooh, they really want to keep referencing Chrono Trigger. They could have they could do it in reverse order. No, wait, you could actually have the Guardian be one of the bosses in the actual dungeon itself. There's 3 bosses for the dungeon. We only saw the Mad Scientist, which seems to be the end boss. Which seems a lot like Hojo / the guy that's trying to suck out our soul in Alamigo. Similar, you know, motif. Like Preservation's Hojo. But that still doesn't change the fact that there's 2 other bosses? So they could have the Guardian with the bits, you know? Hell, that one area does look a lot like... Oh. Yeah, you could have a boss on the outside that's just someone who's, I don't know, corrupted by Genova cells or something. Or, well, trying to... the first boss is a bit up in the air. The second boss could be the Guardian. Because the interior looks a lot like a destroyed research facility. And a destroyed research facility is very similar to like a ruined refrigeration system, like in Chrono Trigger. In aesthetic. It's grim, it's dark. Oh, they got the first boss be a rat! If they're referencing Chrono Trigger as well, they could have the first boss just be a giant rat. Giant robotic rat. Like, just go back outside. The rat holds the secret to the control room. You killed the rat. You have to go loot the rat for the button presses. So yeah, giant rat, Guardian with the bits, you know, laser cannon robot thing that, but instead of guarding the refrigeration system, it's guarding the people who used to live there before they were researched on Fallout style by an evil mad scientist who was hunkering in the bunker who used to work for Preservation. Then you killed the mad scientist. Yeah, that could be the first dungeon. That could be the first 3 bosses. Yeah, I think I've got 7.1 on lock now. Even though it's not as cool as I was thinking it was going to be. I think it still could be cool if they go this route. I mean, I was hoping for a Kingdom Hearts reference, but I'll take Chrono Trigger. If that's where they're going. I was hoping for Castle Oblivion, but, I mean, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy V, and Chrono Trigger is a good mix-up, too. Okay, I keep messing up my Reaper rotation. I'm so focused on trying to figure out the plot of the next 3 patches. Maybe, just maybe. Oh, after we do the Ronkin runs, then maybe we do... Yeah, maybe we would end up doing the Great Forest of Moor. Oh, the Great Forest of Moor. That could be it. Yeah, the Sandworm seems to be relegated to the Passage of the Unbound stuff. But we could have the Great Forest of Moor. So, yeah. But who would die in the Great Forest of Moor? Wait, do they have the balls to kill Trial? Do they have the balls to kill Kryl? Oh, that could be how Erenville joins the Scions somehow. Kryl passes her job crystal and her legacy to Erenville? That would be cool. No, they just add Kryl as a playable character to Scions. Giving her a job crystal just to kill her in battle? Do they have the balls to do that? Maybe? Maybe they have the balls to do that.
Prove you are worthy to rule.
But I'm trying to think of who else they could kill off. If they killed G'raha, everyone would riot, but from a logistical standpoint, that would make sense because his voice actor is too popular. I don't want G'raha to die, but if you need to write him out of the script and make Erenville the new G'raha, it would make sense to replace him. Replace Catboy with Bunboy. Final Fantasy V style. I don't want it to be true, but I mean, if his voice actor has become too popular and too costly, and there's really no way to ever write G'raha Tia out outside of death, because let's face it, unlike Yish or Thancred, he's never going to retire. He's always going to be on some adventure. Unless he's dead. Then, I mean, sending G'raha Tia with us to the Great Forest of Moor would be one hell of a send-off. Effectively having him play the part of the Galuf. Basically, having him play the part of the Galuf of this story. I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus on the fight. My brain is not... I'm divided. My attention's divided. Fuck. The Galuf. Yeah, making Galuf sound badass. Almost as badass as those Chuck Norris jokes and preaches play through a Final Fantasy V. Galuf Norris, baby. Galuf Norris. So yeah, they could kill G'raha Tia in 7.2.
Spirit of my brethren, your thunder roar.
Or, oh, wait, no, it would actually work better if they...
That you should endure my fury.
Oh, I just thought of an even better idea. Oh. If we're referencing Chrono Trigger as well, they could kill us.
Chronicles of Air, record the cruelty of merciless storms.
They could kill us. No, hear me out. They could kill us, especially if they establish a time egg sort of thing. No, but then that would explain why they have Wuk Lamotte be a Warrior of Light-esque. No! I would at least hope they have the sense to bring Zero and Golbez into this, where you're forced to play as Zero to save us. But then I just compared Wuk Lamotte to fucking Marl! Ah! Now I'm hoping they don't do my cool idea of an all-trust character dungeon. Because people are going to riot if we have to play as Wuk Lamotte for a patch. They better not do that. Oh. As much as I like the idea of Death Peak being an all-trust character dungeon during the MSQ only... No. Don't make us play as Wuk Lamotte! Make us play as Kryl! Yeah, make us play as Kryl! I'll accept being a Lullafell for a patch if I get to play as Kryl for the entire patch. Wuk Lamotte can be there, but we should be playing as Kryl for that. Wook Lamont is not a good enough character to justify that. Or better yet, just have Zero and Golbez show up at the last second, kind of like Magus. Yeah, you know how Magus joins the party? We have Golbez become a Scion and replace us. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with Golbez being the party leader. Golbez, Kryl, Graha, literally anyone other than Wook Lamont.
Gloves are off.
You'll not escape this!
Okay. Yish is now level 95. Pause the music. Time to do clip time. Because, yeah, I think I have a general idea of what I think is going to happen in 7.1 onwards now. What could potentially happen over the next 3 patches. We go to the funeral. Everyone's grieving Queen Speed. Then we hear reports of a Sin Eater sighting in the desert of Shaloni. We go out there to check. It is indeed a Sin Eater. Turns out some weird Ronkin-esque rune like the one we did in the level 100 dungeon might actually be a Ronkin rune from the first. And Sin Eaters are pouring out of them. We have no idea where the portal to the other world is. And we have to find it. We need to find a way to detect etheric signatures under the desert ground. Because reference. But in order to find the gate, in order to find the gate the Sin Eaters are coming out of, we're like, ah, fuck. We need to use the electro scanning technology in Solution 9. But the barrier is interfering with the scan radius. It can't scan outside the barrier. So we have to disable the barrier. Wook Lamont comes with us because as part of the peace arrangement between the people of Tural and the people of Alexandria after Sphaine's defeat, disabling the barrier in order to make their 2 nations and 2 worlds become one is part of the agreement anyway. So we have to go to the field generator facility. So we go to the dungeon. And first boss of the dungeon, giant robotic rat. Second boss of the dungeon, giant killer robot. Maybe in the research facility, the refrigeration systems are bad. And all the people that were trapped inside there that were members of preservation are either dead or experimented on by the mad scientist guy at the end. Horrific place. Then, of course, the mad scientist boss at the end. We killed the mad scientist boss at the end. And at the end of the dungeon, we walk up to the control room that he was hunkering in the bunker in. And in the control room, we disable the barrier. Solution 9, our techies in Oblivion run the scan. Like, hey, where is the gate? Oh, it's over here in this part of the desert. We have to go to this part of the desert in order to find this ancient Ronkin ruin. Turali didn't even know was there. Okay, we have effectively found the second city of gold in Tural. Emet-Selch checklist almost complete. So now, because he said golden cities of Tural. So yeah, now we have to go out to the desert. But before we go out to the desert, Wook Lamont is like, what does this button do? Being ADHD Orange Cat, she pushes the button. And that scene we see is just a still image of, well, the day of Lavos. Or maybe the day of Genova. Or maybe the day of Ultima. There's like 3 different entities that they could all combine together into one entity. It's basically the same entity that does all these things they need it to do for plot reasons. We'll just say Day of Lavos because reference. I like Day of Lavos. So yeah, it shows the Day of Lavos on the 9th and Lavos, Genova / Ultima fucking over the 9th. we now have a new Zodiark problem. Because, yeah. If this weird entity destroyed the ninth, and according to Speen and Preservation's research, it seems to be alien in origin and ancient, then that would heavily imply that it predates the Sundering, which means there are, for all intents and purposes, how many shards are left? There are, yeah, we've had 7 calamities. We got 7 calamities. The 8th one was undone because time-traveling Catboy. 7 calamities. So plus the source, that's 7 more shards. With our shard, the source, being the strongest version of Lavos / Genova / Ultima there is. With the Ultima we fought in Ivalice being like a fraction of its power. And we now have a new Zodiark problem. It's just burrowed deep into the planet's core, pretty much, even deeper than Heidelin, and we can't get it out conventionally, and we have to stop what is effectively the Umbral Calamity to end all Umbral Calamities. Because Lavos / Genova / Ultima is waking up. Because new big bad for the saga. We have to figure out how to stop this damn thing. But hey, that's for the future. Right now, we have to go out to the desert to stop the Sin Eaters pouring out of, you know, well, the Ronkan Run. Because as soon as the Alexandrian shit arrived, they may have inadvertently turned on the Ronkan Empire's dimensional hopping tech. Frick. They've accidentally activated a latent protocol. Either that or someone else has activated a latent protocol. They could introduce a new bad guy. Hell, they could actually bring the Passage of the Unbound chick into the MSQ for like a brief cameo. They could just have the bunny girl show up and be the mind control avatar of, or willing cohort of the new big bad that's working for Lavos / Genova / you get the point. And yeah, maybe we don't actually fight the Sandworm and the role quest. We fight the Sandworm and the MSQ on the way to the Ronkan Run in order to make a bridge. Whether she shows up, someone else shows up, it's just Alexandrian tech problems interfering with Ronkan tech, you know. Bit of technological disharmony. The Ronkan security systems went off and detected a foreign empire incursion or something. Whatever. So many different ways they could write it. Point is, we go to the Ronkan Run that now has an open gate to the first. An open light gate, if you will. But before we can actually get inside, it starts lifting off and flying into the sky. Because reference. And now we have to go kill a fucking turtle at the end of the MSQ to get some adamantite, which is in the middle, which is also in the middle of the fucking desert. We killed the giant adamantite electrope turtle thing. That's like a weird hybrid of adamantite and electrope needed to make an airship fly that high, or in this case, a blimp, because you know, Tural. But those modifications will take a while. Come back in 7.2. Do all the side quests while you wait. Maybe even deal with that rabid bunny girl that may have unleashed the apocalypse upon Tural. Depending on how they write it. Anyway, then 7.2 rolls around. Of course, the blimp is ready to go. Dungeon right at the beginning of 7.2, baby. First part of the dungeon, bunch of flying Sin Eaters, with the last boss being a giant cannon called the Soul Cannon. Not the last boss of the dungeon, the last boss of the gauntlet. Because it's like the first dungeon of Dawntrail, but you're on a blimp instead of, you know, on a boat. And you have to kill Sin Eater packs on the way to the boss. Then you get to the boss, it's the Soul Cannon. You kill the Soul Cannon to get inside the place proper. You dock the thing, you get inside, Second boss. Now, if I was making this hypothetical dungeon, the second boss would be... who would I pull out of my ass for this? Who would the second... In fact, I would have the Guardian and the Electrope Atomos thing fused together. Oh, actually, no. I would save the... Oh, no, because Atomos... And Atomos would be part of the gate. Atomos would be the gate. No. Take the Atomos from, like, I thought was going to be in the first dungeon and put it in the second dungeon, the 7.2 dungeon. But have it be the last boss. And the last boss is an Atomos. It's the gate. You shut down the gate by killing the Atomos, the Sin Eater possessed Atomos. And you manage to successfully shut down the possessed gate. You don't destroy it, you just shut it down because we're planning to use that later. But it's out of juice because we had to kill the etheric energy powering it, and that was the Sin Eater possession. So it's a giant angelic Atomos as the last boss of that dungeon. But the second to last boss would be an Archaeoavis Ronkin Serpent thing. And you have to kill that on the way into the room where the Atomos is. So that's the second boss. So okay, we shut down the gate. And the Ronkin Rune is still floating. Because, you know, it is what it is. Though I suppose they could have it crash into Tyrol, like in the base game that it's referencing. But, But then how... But I suppose we could jettison the gate system to preserve the gate. Or we could just repurpose the other gate using the leftover Ronkin tech to go to another world other than the ninth and just use the gate to living memory and take us somewhere else. Kind of like how at Stargate we found like multiple different destinations. You know, or, well, I say we, but the writers, you get what I'm saying. I'm tired. You know how in Stargate, you know, you know what I mean? How kind of like the Dark Portal in WoW too. You know, different. It's a device. Make it go somewhere else. Plot thing. You know, I'm tired. Ugh. Like, yeah, you could just make it go somewhere else. You could just make it go to a different shard. Hell, you could just reprogram it to go to the first. To check up on Reen and Gaia. Yeah, you could just do that, in theory. Maybe even use some Ronkin tech to do it. Yeah, whatever. I'm just spitballing ideas. Just... You know, random side tangent. I was really annoyed when they canceled that potential Stargate MMO. Anyway, what was I saying? Ugh. Yeah, anyway. So, Ronkin Rune crashes to the ground, or it stays floating. Either way, it works. And then we have to get ready to go to another world. And then we find out the meteorites in that one place, that one lizard village place, actually has enough leftover etheric energy to either power the Atomos or to power, you know, the gate in the same place. Oh, that would actually be more convenient. So, yeah, actually, no, I want to say it out loud. Yeah, you have the Ronkin Rune crash to the ground, you salvage the Ronkin tech, you upgrade the system, but you don't have enough power to change the destination. So you need to absorb the meteorite's power to make it change destinations, and there you go. Now we get back to the first. That takes a while to set up. So yeah, while that's being set up, we just go do the 7.2 shit. And then boom, we come back at 7.3. Right at the beginning of 7.3, we redirect the Golden City's gate from living memory to the other Ronkin base. And we just go there to figure out what the hell happened on the first. And in 7.3, we go to that Ronkin gate area. And that could actually be the dungeon for 7.3. Ooh, if we're going to the first, like I think we're going to the first. Oh. Yeah, they could kill off Grahatia because his voice actor is getting too expensive. And just have him play the part of a certain character because reference, and have him heroically fight against the big bad and die. That's the safe option. But if I was writing it, how would you write this? Well, you could have the remnants of the Ronkan Empire still be a thing hidden on the first, and have it be floating like a certain kingdom from a certain other game. Oh, you could even, because time dilation, yeah, gates, time dilation, you could actually go back to the ancient Ronkan Empire. Oh, one of the first Sin Eaters were actually a Ronkan experiments, and those Sin Eaters we fought weren't even from the present. Oh, that would be such a mindfuck, wouldn't it? We go all the way back to the 12,000 BC of the first, basically, like the early days of the first. To the ancient kingdom of Ronka, floating kingdom of Ronka, and everything goes to shit. Like maybe the serpents, or maybe a civilization that predates Ronka that inspired the Ronkan Empire. That Emmett Selk also made, like the Allagans of the first. Like the Ronkans, I think the Ronkans are like the Allagans of the first, but the Ronkans are a bit more recent than the Allagan Empire was on the first. And they were kind of like the Garlemald of the first. So you just go even further back and you have a civilization that predates Ronka, that inspired Ronka. That was also made by Emmett Selk, the Empire Builder. And then we encounter like Lavos Genova / Ultima there, and everything goes to shit because reference, and everything just explodes. And if I was writing it, we'd kill the Warrior of Light there. we would kill off the Warrior of Light. There. You wouldn't actually have any dungeons whatsoever. It would just be an optional area you explore, and then at the end of it, there's like a solo duty. Warrior of Light dies. Then we have to use the power of stasis, of passivity in the present, in the present day, on the first to resurrect the Warrior of Light. Somehow. Maybe some sort of time egg shit. And we just... Basically what I'm saying is make Death Peak a dungeon. An all-trust dungeon. I'm just saying there's so many different ways this could go, and I'm probably just getting a bit off the rails there. The safe bet would be to reference the Great Forest of Moor and just kill Grahatia and then give his job crystals to Erenville. That's just a safe bet. Catboy to Bunboy arc. But if you really wanted to get people to play your game, all trust MSQ dungeon, where you have to resurrect the Warrior of Light on the top of Death Peak would be amazing! They're not going to do it. Or if they do, I'm like, holy crap, the Mad Lads actually did it. But they're not going to. Even if they reference Lavos, they're never going to go that far with it. They're not going to be that brazen with the reference. But yeah, the first two patches at the very least, I am convinced it's just basement level research facility of Midgar shit, followed by, the Ronkan ruins. Yeah. We'll find out if my ramblings were even remotely close to the truth on the 12th. Whew. In any case, this has been Captain Alexander. See you later. Bye-bye. Before you go, I'm going to find a raid target on Twitch, because, anyway... Hmm. Okay, let's raid this person. A Gore Fairy. Ooh, that's a name.